Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Finger Last. On tonight's show we're going to talk, basically touch on Bristol De Mai's win at the weekend. Obviously rolling on from that, Native River and Thistle Crack, the disappointment of Might Bite. Politologue, we'll mention him as well. And then we'll move on to the racing at the weekend then, basically.
The racing at the weekend.
Obviously some good fields at the weekend in the trophy and the Fighting Fifth, so we'll come back to that. So we'll start with Bristol De Mai. A lot of people wrote him off, a lot of people didn't. You being one of them, mate.
Yeah. So it was one of those, isn't it? So this is why we say we don't tip. But what I did say was it's a horse to catch early. Loves it round Haydock, as he's proved again. Last year 57 lengths. Year before that he's won it by 22 lengths, by 12 lengths he's won there. This year he's won it sort of going away as well, so fantastic performance. The only thing I did get wrong is that we all thought that it was just a bit of a mud horse, and he's obviously not, including his trainer as well. Nigel did say in the morning that
how many conversations did we have about that and the build up to in the last days before the race? We spoke about it so many times.
Yeah, as I say, we're all left sort of eating our words ever so slightly, but I didn't say go and put all of your money on it. What I said was catch him early. Chances are he might not win another race for the rest of the season, but I didn't tell you he was going to. I just said he'll run well at Haydock. And
I just saying to Neil shortly before Sean got here, like I kicked myself for not putting some money on him really, because I think it was one of them ones. I'm not trying to be wise after the event. I just think you'd think, well, he does so well at that track anyway. And he's not a slouch by any means. No. He might not have the same strike ratio as the others, but it's almost foolish not to have a couple of quid on him.
He doesn't run as many races as the others for the reasons that we just gave us. So especially last season, he had his injury problems, which fair play to Nigel, who's managed to get him back from. And if anything, he's got him back better. We always say that a wind-up usually brings out the best in horses. Altior's had one, Bristol De Mai's now had one. As I said, he might not win another race, but he won the race that I told you he was going to win, so that's good enough for me.
And to be fair, there was, and you look on Twitter every day, everyone was classing it as a two-horse race. I mean, a good 90% of Twitter, horse racing Twitter World Tour, was putting it down to a two-horse race, regardless of what people will say now. People did put it down to that, me included. I mean, I never really fancied Might Bite personally.
Well, that brings us on to Might Bite. Actually,
I didn't, and he disappointed, and I expected more.
See, I'm not sure. More, I'm not sure I did, because
just didn't like the fences. Didn't handle it well.
Well, speaking of the fences as well, again, most people would have spotted this already if they're on the racing post, etc. The fences have already been lowered. Nicky Henderson did say that Might Bite coming to the last actually panicked because of the sheer size of what was sort of in front of him.
Is that an excuse?
No, it's not an excuse, because all the other horses had to get round it. But it's not just Nicky. Colin Tizzard mentioned it as well.
Yeah, I think they all did, didn't they? Really, to a degree.
I've never seen a fence that high. So, in fairness, they've done something about it pretty quickly. That is one thing you can say for
fair play to them from that
dealing with problems. When they had problems with Cheltenham, obviously with the horses darting out to the left after the last fence, so we dealt with that. But again, going back to Might Bite's form, sorry we're deviating. One at Cheltenham, when he nearly ended up in the car park.
Nearly lost it,
Won a King George, but I don't think won a King George all that well.
I don't even think it was the most impressive. Like there were some decent horses in that King George, but at the time weren't having the best of the season. As a collective, there was a lot going. So Udemy double shuffle.
That was coming down.
Good horses in their own right, but way behind that were better horses in some respects who had a bad day. So it wasn't.
And then second to Native River at the Gold Cup, and you could argue showed that he doesn't really have the fight for to slog it out. Native River obviously did. We mentioned, didn't we, at the weekend with messaging saying that I said to you that Dicky didn't look happy after about 2 or 3 out. And in fairness, I mean, Native River's he's run an absolute blinder.
Because he was trying to give his all for everything. He never seemed to settle. You get Native River into a rhythm, and then he's conserving that energy where he will then love a battle at the end. That's when he'll push on. Whereas he seemed to just want to give everything. And that also.
I think you find like most of the trainers, apart from Nicky Henderson, were all quite happy with a day's work basically. I think Nicky was the only one really going, right, okay, what happened there then?
Well, because you've got to be, of course he's now going to go King George Gold Cup route. But if he doesn't run an absolute cracker in the King George, you've got some serious questions that can be answered to this horse. And that's a fact. You've got Thistlecrack now breathing down your neck. I thought Thistlecrack ran an absolute stormer.
Pulled like a train for the first mile.
Again,
Played a couple of fences and yet stayed on that
didn't
well.
Settle, but it was actually, I wouldn't say closing. I think Bristol De Mai's won that with bits in hand.
Yeah.
You know, he's beaten better horses than
Nicky
the last.
the last half a furlong must have seen Bristol going away, and if you look, he eased up as well.
Well, I bet there must have been a few die-hard fans that backed Thistlecrack just for the love of the horse, and halfway round thought, oh well, I'm not even going to get a place.
Yeah.
I bet a few did, and fair play to him.
The fact of the matter is, you'll have a few people like myself that would have backed Bristol De Mai for the reasons that we gave in past shows just gone.
Yeah.
You'd have had big fans of Native River that saw what he did in the Gold Cup and backed him also sensibly. Yeah. And then you'd have had people that have just looked at Might Bite and thought, right, I've got an even favourite banker here.
Yeah.
And that you've got it completely wrong.
Disappointed as well.
Exactly. And then you'll have Thistlecrack fans that thought, you know what, he's going to run a cracker. He may run into a place for me.
I mean, if you're Colin Tizzard, you're
buzzing
so happy with those two runs. Because he was never expecting, he kind of never really, he put Native River in that race because that £1 million is there. You'd be foolish if you've got a horse of that quality to not give it a go.
Not try, exactly.
The fact that he's come out
he's had to do that, but it was never his sort of track, the conditions weren't in his sort of favour, so he was kind of, I don't know what he was expecting, and to get the run he did out of it, you'd think, well, me personally, as a Native River fan, I was watching that going, there's no other horse for me in the Gold Cup. Because you're not guaranteed Bristol will go there, you don't know what sort of route they'll take. I'm not impressed with Might Bite, he shows no fight. He's an outstanding horse, you can't argue that. Like I say, nearly ended up in the car park and wins. So there's still ability on it, but for me, Native River is just...
you wonder what went wrong at the weekend.
What is it?
You know what I mean?
Right. An enigma.
Again, it's a blip. He's one of those horses. He's a bit funny. If he fancies it, he fancies it. If he doesn't, he does it. But
you can't even sort of say, well, was it the battle? Because he's been in some battles and he's proved that he's up for
just
a fight.
didn't run a race. Didn't run a race. So we can deliberate, to the cows.
He
didn't run a race. Bristol De Mai's run his race. Native River's done a cracker. So has Thistlecrack. Clanders Oboe for Paul Nichols as well. He's not too disappointed with that. So the biggest disappointment was the favourite on the day, but we've all backed favourites like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not the first time. It might be the last time, will it?
Exactly. So we move on, and Bristol for King George.
Well, we'll move on then. I'll give Politologue a shout as well because I think he ran well. As I mentioned just before we sort of started filming, I was looking at some of the ratings and that. And, it won 6-8 for Politologue, Charbel 159, Gold Present 152. So they're all round about the same. But as I say, I just mentioned before we started, a big surprise was that Hammersley Lake at 165. It's like, well, he wasn't really anywhere near, and it's like, well, I don't know. Say as you know if you've been following us, I'm newish to the sport. Sort of about a year now I've been following it. And
so that would have thrown your eye.
Yeah, luckily I didn't go by that. Obviously I've learnt enough to know that, but I do find it puzzling some of these RR ratings of some horses from time to time, and you think, well, looking at his races in particular, he's won 2 out of 7 this year. Okay. I know the horse can't help if he's only entered in 7 races kind of thing, but still, even the competition that he faced, not really that high. So how does he get to a 165 race?
It's a confusing one sometimes.
Yeah, so on Politologue, because you've I've always been a big fan of this. We just said the last horse that beat Politologue was Altior, and Altior's comeback run, and there's no shame going down to that. I think there was only sort of 3 runners that day anyway.
It wasn't as big as a field that day.
No, so again, your forecast wasn't even.
But still, acquitted himself very well against the mighty Altior.
And then he's gone on. He went to Cheltenham. He beat Min comfortably. Beat Min that day as well. All right. At the weekend, he's only beaten Charbel. Charbel had £7 on him, and let's not forget there were moments in the Queen Mother 2 years ago where we were a little bit worried about Charbel until it came down. Altior obviously belted up the hill as you'd expect him to, but there was about a 10-second little moment there. And I say Politologue's given him £7 at the weekend as well. And if you actually watch the race, yes, okay, beaten by sort of half a length, but he was, he had plenty in hand.
I don't think it was any
the best horse was one on the day.
Yeah.
Nichols has talked about the next options for him. I don't think it'll be sort of King George routes and things like that. I think their big plan is Cheltenham. Whether again, I've had this discussion whether he's an actual Gold Cup horse. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's got the engine for that. Not to say that he's not decent enough around
But
Cheltenham. I just think there are better.
And we'll win a good few decent races on the lead up to that.
But he's going to win plenty of prize money for Paul Nichols this season. So,
exactly. He's definitely going to pick up some nice wins along the way.
Yeah, that's a decent start.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Just another couple of little mentions. Nothing to go into massive details, but I was going to quickly mention Dicky's ride on Black Mischief.
The reason I love jump racing. So.
Yeah, you know, to
come from there. That's a sin. No, but he did. You know, with a fence to jump, he was beating, wasn't he? There was 2, 3 in front of us,
something like that. At least the 2 of them in front, at least.
And he looked beat, and you know, it's the reason a lot of people love Dicky because he flew. He that's silly of me. That's my mistake on that one. Brilliant. Give me a minute. But he did. He flew over the last week. He didn't think he stood a chance, and the next thing you know, he's found a gap between 3 other horses, and he's won well. Steamed through. But that for me was brilliant watching.
Yeah. Another little mention again, just to briefly touch on. I was quite disappointed with First Assignment as well when Paisley Park won, which was Ollie Bell's £20 challenge.
Yeah,
that's it.
I had a feeling you'd bring that up actually. Yeah. I wouldn't be too gutted by that if I'm perfectly honest with you. I mean, because he only ran sort of a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just trying to find the details of it here. Only ran a couple of weeks ago and bolted up at Cheltenham in a decent event as well. And Ian Williams literally said he's got no choice. The prize money's there. It's a massive prize. I think again, if you couple this with sort of future races that are coming on as well. And in fairness, I watched that race because I had that down as sort of not the bankers, but the one that you would sort of expected to go in and working hard pretty much the whole race. Poor Tom O'Brien was sort of on and off the bridle pretty much all of it. Yeah. Going over the last had pretty much every chance. So he's run his race, and with that form, he'll win plenty of more races this season.
I'm sure he will win others, but
where the hell? Emma Lavelle sort of Paisley Park. I mean, Aidan Coleman's literally chucked him in from sort of going over the last. He weren't even in the shot.
No one come from the clouds. Yeah.
Absolutely flew. Absolutely flew. So. Yeah, and again, I wouldn't be too disappointed with that, especially after winning at Cheltenham a couple of weeks ago in heavy ground as well. So, okay, fair enough. Well, that kind of leads us on then, boys, to the weekend.
Another great weekend.
It's getting good.
Yes, it's hotting up, isn't it, as they say. So obviously, start with the Ladbrokes Trophy then, boys. We've got the top 4 in the betting at the moment, according to 365 as it stands at the moment.
Split.
All 6 to 1. Elegant Escape, Miss Barfar, Thomas Patrick, and Ken Boys. So there's probably going to be a head-to-head there, Sean, between me and you.
And I was watching, obviously, at the races today. Obviously, they get their interviews, and Richard Johnson's. Obviously, he's going to sound his excitement over that horse. Because obviously he's on board.
Yeah.
But he's also he's come across as a very honest man at times, and he has said that looking at the field, a great field, big field that it will be, and a great field. Mullins will bring some over. Who he'll bring, we don't know. No. Let's be honest with you. But he has said he feels that he's sat on the best horse in the race. And after his last performance, it's difficult to argue.
It is. Yeah.
He puts in it again, as I said, a sound round the jump, and he's hard to catch. Just got beat by. There's the last couple of yards and run out of a little bit of gas. First time out, maybe that boat cobbles off because he knows he stays.
Almost like if he sneezed, he could have won it.
And it was that close. Yeah. And once again, I will 100% throw my support behind him on that one because I do think, as much as it's a large race, if he's up there with 2 to go, he'll see it out this time. Personally,
that round the other day was literally, as you say, probably apart from the last,
foot perfect.
Yeah. He pinged everything.
And like you say, 6 to 1 with those favourites. You could pick any of them.
Yeah.
Don't always.
Well, I was on him that day, and I take it and leave it. You know what I mean? I don't cry over him. He'd lost bets, but that would have been a nice little return. And I just literally over that last, I just thought, just get over this, and it's in the bag. And he got over it. Yeah. Okay, he didn't exactly smash it, fluff it, run through it. Like you say, just done with a bit of stamina at the line.
That was it. First one out, blow the cobwebs.
Yeah.
And I think I'm quite strong for that one.
So, you'd be a brave man to back against him, I think.
Well, I'm like in Kenboy for Willie Mullins.
As long as he goes.
Yeah. So he did. Well, he did say this is his best opportunity to win the race with Kenboy. To be honest, beat Alfred Zobo pretty comfortably last time out, who actually beat Valsalido last week in a race over in Ireland.
Again, he put his sound around the jump.
But yeah, very sound. I'm hoping it'll be Paul Townend rather than that muppet that will keep the ride. So fingers crossed. But
no, he's been going on.
Looking for a four timer. And again, we talk about big fields. The race before that, he won over at Punchestown in an 18 runner. So I'm happy with that. And again, the other one I would look at is Young Master for Sam Colin. Won at Cheltenham a couple of weeks back as well. If he's allowed to lead, I think you're going to have plenty amount of horses that are all going to want to go from the front on that occasion. If he's allowed to lead, he's quite hard to reel in. So,
but that'll be a fantastic race.
Yeah, it will be.
Say a couple of I've got written down here. You've got Total Recall in there, Raffington, Blackhawton. I mean, there's a few names.
It will be a great race.
A few well-known names. I mean, not household names per se, but a few well-known names.
Some decent types.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, obviously there's a big field there, and have a look and.
Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think. Obviously, moving on to the fighting fifth then. Obviously, not the biggest of fields, but don't really need much more if you've got Buveur D'air Samcro and Somerville Boy in a race, do you? Let's be honest. It'll be exciting regardless. So, obviously, Buveur D'air favourite.
I mean, with the rain, they're obviously saying Samcro's going to prefer that. Disregard his last run. I don't think you can fully disregard it. I don't know. Well, I don't know personally.
I think the bookies are disregarding it. They've got Bedrock at 12 to 1 and Samcro at 2. So I think the bookies are.
But to be honest with you, if Buveur D'air turns up, I think it's foregone. I think he's like I was saying beforehand. There's been a lot of champion hurdle winners that will go down in history, and it feels like he just gets overlooked sometimes. Not all the time as a horse, but we were there the last 2 times, and I think fantastic horse.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
Tons
2 years ago won it massively comfortably. All right, last year, Menham's put it up to him, but he still found what he had to find. I think, if the button had been pushed a little bit earlier, he'd have been away and gone. But that's horses for courses. Somerville Boy, you mentioned, he's obviously one of my ones to watch. He's going to have to run an absolute cracker in this race for champion hurdle credentials. I think if he has a nightmare. I'm not saying they'll all, of course, but they'll have some work to sort of make up. But if he runs a blinder at the weekend,
it might set him back a bit, mightn't it?
If he runs a cracker at the weekend, I'll be amazed if he's not in top shape. Tom George would not, have him fit and ready. And he's got, obviously we mentioned Dickie Johnson, but Mr. Reliable, Noel Feely as well. So.
It'll be a shame if he doesn't, because again he's put in some very good work.
I think he'll run his race. As I said, I've mentioned to you all before. I'm not sure what Samcro is. Buveur D'air, we know what it's all about, so he's obviously got some work to do. But
I mean, if they all turn up, run their race, and come over that last, they're all still in contention. That's going to be one hell of a race because they've all got a great turn. They're lightning quick.
And that's what you want.
Considering they've done around the jumping, so it's a nice build-up. It's a nice,
you've got to try them, haven't you? At the end of the day, no better yardstick to measure yourself against someone like those two.
Well, if they're all going for the champion in March, then they're going to meet at some point. So this will separate the wheat from the chaff, as they say. So this will potentially douse a couple of them champion hurdle hopes. Let's see.
We'll see.
The usual suspects will be there or thereabouts, but it'll actually be nice to watch a champion hurdle with a few more different contenders.
Definitely.
That'd be a good race.
None of which are Willie Mullins.
So they're obviously the 2 sort of biggest ones that we picked out from the weekend, obviously, lads. There is obviously a lot more racing as well, especially on the Friday. Still, obviously, we all know, things can change. Obviously, as you say, she'll get pulled on the blooming morning of the race. But we may have another head-to-head in the Muddy Rider camp on Friday in the novice. At the moment, Santini's in there, Labargois for me. So we could have another head-to-head, and we'll see who comes out on top on that one, if it happens, obviously. So you picked out a couple.
The long distance, Ladbrokes long distance hurdles also on Friday. Harry, Holstone, Sam Spinner, again, all turn up. That's another fantastic start to your weekend with those sort of races, and I don't see
Spinner with a little bit to prove, maybe.
Possibly,
definitely,
possibly, but Holstone going great guns, and I'd be
all
inclined to look over at Holstone to be honest with you as well. To be fair, so I think that would be a fantastic race as well.
Cool. So, as you say, plenty of good racing at the weekend. Let us know what you think. Get involved in on Twitter and that. Give us some shouts or comment below in the videos on YouTube. And we all look forward to a cracking weekend. As we say, we've got our tickets all sorted now for Tingle Creek. Yeah. Fingers crossed, as we're saying on social media, hopefully it's a good field this year. And,
it's a good day out.
But exactly, cracking day out, a few beers, horse racing, what more can you want?
Outdoor.
And
if nothing else, we see outdoor.
Absolutely. So, get involved, let us know what you think, and we'll see you again next time.
Yes.
Lovely.
See you later.